How hunters and farmers deal with millions of giraffes, black bears and wild boars. Human interaction with wildlife has always been a delicate balance. Hunters and farmers in particular have distinct roles and strategies for managing wildlife populations. As urban areas expand and natural habitats shrink, these interactions become more complex, especially when dealing with prolific species like giraffes, black bears and wild boars. This article delves into how hunters and farmers navigate these challenges. Understanding the species giraffes. Giraffes are native to Africa and are primarily browsers, feeding on leaves and shoots of trees, particularly acacias. While giraffes are not typically associated with conflict in regions outside Africa, they can pose challenges within their native habitat by over-browsing vegetation, which can affect local ecosystems and farming activities. Black bears are highly adaptable and found across North America. They are omnivorous with diets including berries, nuts, insects and occasionally small mammals. Their proximity to human settlements often leads to conflicts, especially when bears raid crops or garbage. Wild boars or feral pigs are among the most challenging species for farmers worldwide. They are prolific breeders, omnivorous, and highly destructive to crops and ecosystems. Their rooting behavior damages fields, and they often have competitive species for resources. Farmers managing wildlife on agricultural lands. Challenges faced by farmers: crop damage. Wild boars and black bears are notorious for damaging crops. Laws are fruit fields. Wild bears may target fruit orchards or cornfields. Livestock threats. While giraffes pose no direct threat to livestock, black bears may occasionally prey on smaller animals, like goats or sheep. Economic losses. Proper livestock losses due to wildlife can have significant financial repercussions for farmers. Mitigation strategies. Fencing. Electric fencing. Effective against black bears and wild boars. Electric fences deter animals from entering farmland. Tall barriers in giraffe habitats. Farmers may use tall barriers to protect sensitive areas. Habitat management. Farmers can reduce attractants, like fallen fruit or garbage, to minimize conflicts. Maintaining buffer zones with native vegetation can help segregate wildlife from crops. Scaring tactics. Noise cannons. Scarecrows and flashing lights are commonly used to deter wildlife. Dogs trained to protect livestock can be effective against black bears and wild boars. Government support. Compensation schemes for wildlife-induced damages. Subsidies for installing fencing or other mitigation measures. Hunters' conservation and population control. Role of hunters in wildlife management. Hunters play a vital role in controlling overpopulated species. Managed hunting reduces human-wildlife conflicts and helps maintain ecological balance. Regulated hunting. Governments often issue hunting permits for species like wild boars and black bears. This ensures populations do not exceed sustainable levels. Economic incentives. Hunting licenses and tourism. For example, safaris generate revenue, part of which is reinvested in conservation efforts. Data collection. Hunters often provide crucial data on wildlife populations, migration patterns and health. Aiding in scientific research. Specific hunting practices. Wild boars are often hunted using traps, dogs or firearms. Night hunting is common as boars are nocturnal. Black bears hunters use baiting and tracking methods. Regulations ensure sustainable practices, such as prohibiting hunting mothers with cubs. Giraffes are not typically hunted for population control. However, limited, regulated trophy hunting exists in some African countries to fund conservation. Ethical and conservation considerations. Sustainability over hunting or mismanagement can lead to ecological imbalances. Conservation policies ensure hunting aligns with sustainability goals. Non-lethal alternatives, relocation of problem animals, sterilization programs for wild boars, and public education are gaining traction. Community engagement, involving local communities in wildlife management, ensures their needs are met while promoting coexistence. Case studies: wild boars in Europe. Wild boar populations have exploded in Europe due to mild winters and abundant food sources. Farmers face extensive crop damage, prompting governments to encourage hunting. Some regions also use contraceptive methods to control populations. Black bears in North America. Black bears increasingly venture into suburban areas in search of food. States like California have implemented strict garbage management laws and offer compensation for livestock losses to reduce conflicts. Giraffes in Africa. Conservationists work with local farmers to mitigate giraffe-related issues. Programs include creating wildlife corridors and promoting ecotourism to turn giraffes into assets rather than liabilities. Conclusion: the interplay between hunters, farmers and wildlife is intricate and requires a balanced approach. While hunters manage populations and support conservation, farmers focus on minimizing damage to their livelihoods. Collaboration, sustainable practices, and community involvement are key to ensuring harmonious coexistence with giraffes, black bears, wild boars and other wildlife.